Guys, early access patch 1 dropped, and it was a great reason to hop on this archer class and see how it felt. So let me go through the gear really quickly and just sort of describe to you what's changed as we're playing. So the needle spear, one-handed spear, is my current go-to, but I might try a rapier here. That's pretty good. The needle spear in this case is awesome. It's giving me the damage surge rune, which is definitely tremendously boosting my damage. It's giving me increased focus whenever I deal damage with my bow. It's giving me stamina refill chance, whenever I do damage as well. But it is at that Kiss Curse where I'm kind of paying the cost. It's costing me 20% of my overall health just to use it, which is a big reason to get away from it. But now that you know that, let's talk about the big changes to bow. So bow attacks are supposed to use stamina instead of focus, which is sort of true. If you look at the runes inside this Yuan longbow, arrow cost me stamina, but cone shot, damage surge, and multi-shot runes all cost focus still. So the build is still working off of a focus depleting pace, but we get our base attack building focus with our gear, and I'll kind of walk through the rest here. The helmets give me increased experience, but also gives me focus gain. It gives me plague resistance and poise defense. My armor is giving me a chance to get health on damage taken. It's increasing my healing effects, and the item weight decreased by 20% as well. And it gives me 16 stamina. For my legs, I'm currently using Path of the Cleanse. This is giving me all resistance, focus gain, healing effects increase, and gold loss on death. For my gloves, I'm using the Apprentice Cloth Gloves. All resistance, focus gain increase, healing effects increase, and increases my stamina by 11 after I parry. But I do lose XP whenever I die. Now, as for the rings, I'm currently settled on Band of Calmness, which is increasing my focus by 100%. It's also giving my focus gain increase 24%. I'm using a Thistle Ring because the Thistle Ring does still play off the combo to chance to gain some percent of life on damage dealt, which is me dealing damage to myself, giving all of my attacks that life leech ability, which gives me that, in this case, really, really tanky or solid poise and steadfast resolve to like stand there and just shoot things and get all my health rate back with cone shot. Very good. Finally, I'm trying a rune ring because rune attacks are going to deal some amount of percentage-based increased damage. And rune attacks, when you're playing an archery class, are all of the runes in the bow. Now, you might be asking yourself, why is this guy using a white bow? Like, what's the deal? And I'll tell you what the deal is. So, if I've got a bow like this, and I enchant it, I lose 2 of those rune slots, and I also lose some of those gem slots, which are basically the catalyst or the machine making the archery class work, in my opinion. And so, if you look at my stats here, we'll go over here. I've currently got 190 armor, my poise is 9, my resistances are somewhere around the 150 range, but my character's built with absolutely no points in stamina, no points in health, no points in strength. I'm all in on 68 dex. I've got 26 to use my bow and intelligence, and I've got 20 focus. At level 29, this Car 98 character, my archer, is going to be a glass cannon, or he will not work. And I'm okay with that. Glass cannon means I deal a lot of damage, and you'll see me one-shotting some of these elite monsters, which feels really good. But if he's not able to do that or can't deal good damage, then it's just going to be a struggle bus. And I would say, genuinely, guys, I don't think this character is anywhere near cap, min-max, not even at all, but he's getting there. And the further and further I go, I really think I can get my arrows up to maybe 80 damage per arrow. And when you're doing multi-shot, shooting, 3-4 times, that's quite substantial. Or cone shot, shooting 5 shots instantly, that's a tremendous amount of damage. But the big catalyst, the thing that makes this so much fun, is we can actually fucking play range builds now, which is great. Range was like really kind of struggle bus before, in my opinion. Now it feels awesome. You can build up the start to shoot with that little expenditure of stamina, and then full-time appreciate focus spam when you're getting focus back every time you deal damage. So that's the trick. Look for topaz. If you can, look for emeralds and get those in the slots, because it's definitely going to make a change for you. Like putting topaz in pretty much every slot where it makes sense to get focus back, you're going to be able to just go non-stop. Now, let's talk about the cons a little bit. The targeting in this system, if you're using a controller, you're going to use the right thumbstick to kind of throttle between targets. I found personally, look at my rune layout, I have B. B is in like the button I got to press with my damage surge rune. So sometimes when I'm actually trying to shoot, instead of rolling out of the way or dodging, my character just activates a rune instead. And that's probably a get good kid, but that's what I've been experiencing so far. Also, the targeting isn't always true. You might have something in range and then all of a sudden you're shooting in left field like squirrel, you got to watch out. So I would caution you to just play it slow, and it rewards you knowing how the monsters are going to attack you, and just kind of plan for that, because your archery skills, like as example, multi-shot, may not actually interrupt the monster. Rather, you'll just be doing damage and you got to heal through it, which is not what I thought would happen. I thought if I shot the guy, he would actually just stop, take the damage from my arrow, kind of kick his head back a bit, but it is interrupting. So that's some of the cons in the build so far. And other than the cons, I'm still loving it. I'm glad we have this build. And the next one I got to check out is a kind of mana user, right? Spellcaster. That sounds kind of fun. So hopefully you guys give archery a shot. I don't want to give you like sour grapes here. It is a great build. It's super fun. Definitely plays different than my two-handed sword melee character. And I think if you like archery, No Rest for the Wicked finally has a way for you to enjoy archery the way I think that we all want to. Okay? And one last thing before we go. When it comes to the ring, this is the creative centerpiece for characters, in my opinion. You can go triple Band of Calmness to get a lot of focus. I would not recommend using more than one Thistle Ring. And you could also try a triple Rune Ring package and just get rid of this whole setup too, because you're going to deal a lot more damage with your rune attacks. If you got some kind of ring setup or character setup for your archer that feels good, share it with me in the comments below. I read them all. I want to say thanks for checking out the video. Hope you guys are enjoying the game, and I'll see you guys on the next one.